All right, so we're back doing some meet and greets with our POW conference, Practice Operation and Workflow Conference speakers. We've got Jeremy Zug. Did I say it right? Zug?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, that's
Okay,
it.
Jeremy Zug. Jeremy is a billing, I'm going to say guru.
There we go.
But that's high praise, by the way, because I think at the core of what we do in this industry, in mental health, is how does it get paid for? You can be the best clinician in the world. You can build the best group practice, but if the money doesn't come in, right? Another way I say it, our core product is always 1 or 2 hour transformational conversations, but our core behavior is scheduling and billing. So that's why we're bringing in a guy like Jeremy. Jeremy, tell me how you ended up as a billing nerd and kind of what your current iteration is and the claim game and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so great question. Thanks, Ken. When I was 14, I answered an ad in my high school to make paper charts for a community mental health center. I needed gas money, so it was not a passion, but I had the opportunity to see an interdisciplinary organization operate, and it was really attractive. I had therapists, nurses, psychiatrists, day treatment, crisis intervention, the whole thing. And that was really interesting. And that put me on a trajectory to pursue a career in the mental health field. So I went to college, got a degree, got married, worked as a biller in a group practice in downtown Chicago. Then from there, we moved to Michigan. And at that point, Medicaid cuts, this is a time old tale, right? Medicaid cuts chopped into the center. My colleagues and friends and family, my mom is a therapist, launched their private practices and said, we don't know what we're doing. Please help us out. And so that was it. That was the inception. Catherine and I then ran with it. And we now have 35 team members across the country. We serve
Wow.
thousands of therapists. We absolutely love it. Billing is what we do. What I tell folks is that we ensure their survival through revenue assurance and
Mm.
whatever iteration that looks like.
Mm.
So that's what we're doing right now.
Well, and I love that too. And not to knock the mom and pops. We all start as a mom and pop, but I see so many great billing operations out there that have zero redundancy, and they are the best billers ever until they get COVID or
Yeah.
their kid has a tough,
Mhm.
bed rest labor, and all of a sudden you can't get a hold of them anymore, and your practice revenue cycle grinds to a halt. So the very fact that you guys are 30 plus team members makes you rare air as far as I'm concerned. So
Yeah,
you're,
we
go
like
go
it.
ahead.
No, that redundancy is really important. And it's
Yeah.
sort of there's a parallel there to clinicians, is there not? I mean, you're the best clinician, but if
Mhm.
you can't replicate yourself, you're stuck.
There is no success without succession, right?
There
So.
you go.
Okay, so your topic for the POW conference is eliminating the number one denial reason in private practice, right? We ask people to come up with provocative titles. There you go. I'm hooked at the title. So tell me what people are going to get if they spend an hour with you. Where does this go? What kind of stuff are they going to walk out of there armed with?
They're going to walk away with nothing earth shattering, but they're going to walk away with a 5 millimeter shift that changes the game in their practice in terms of denials. So I'll give a little teaser. The number one denial reason in for any claim is duplicate claim submission, which means nothing. That is a that's a very broad, very opaque denial reason, but it occurs because we have a process issue in the billing. And if you move, and this will be my teaser, Ken, if you move one part of your revenue cycle management process to the front of the process, it fixes that. It goes away completely.
I love it. Greg McEwen, I don't know if you ever read this book back in the day, but the book's called Essentialism.
Oh
And
yeah.
I mean, to me, it was in my top five books in my business journey. But what one problem, if you solve it, solves the most other problems downstream. This sounds like that, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yep. And it's the process that we use for our billing. So I'm not giving you anything that is new or novel.
mm,
The new part to you, the practice owner, might be shifting that process around.
mm,
And for this conference, it makes a lot of sense, right? Process
mm,
and workflow. Let's get the workflow right and fix the denial
mm.
stream.
Yeah. Stop self-inflicted errors, right? I think of sports and,
For
you know,
sure.
all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
What is the impact of this? So, practices, I continually run into practices that are living in this emotional roller coaster of am I going to make payroll, right? Which is its own CFO type moment. They probably need some coaching there, but doing this stuff right, removing this number one cause for claim denial, where does it impact cash flow for practices? Does money come in sooner? Does more money come in? Do less
Mm.
claims slip through the cracks? I mean, you move this 5 millimeters, how does it impact the bottom line?
In a lot of ways, I'll give you a really practical one. In 2022, Availity did a study. Availity is a tech company. If you don't know what that is, you
Mhm.
should. It's really, really helpful. Availity did a study and they said that reworking a claim denial in terms of biller cost is $25 to $118. That's the range of money you're going to spend getting denials.
Mhm.
If your number one denial reason is duplicate claim submission, this opaque, non-specific, non-actionable denial reason, and your biller is spinning their wheels 10, 15 hours a week, yeah, I mean, you can do the math on that. You are spending
Mhm.
a ton of money on
Mhm.
denial rework, appeals. So just in terms of rework and time and people's attention, you're going to save money there. If you can fix that denial reason, your revenue is stickier, it comes in quicker,
Mhm.
your biller is calmer. Clinicians
Mhm.
stop asking questions about where am I going to get paid? How am I going to get paid? Where is this claim? You fix a lot of that stuff downstream. But just in terms of biller rework and time, right there, you can save that much money per claim denial.
Well, so the big KPI, our industry is, I think, been obsessed with KPIs and
Yeah.
dashboards. But all those things, if you're not careful, all they measure is your refusal to do the correct things, right?
There you go. Hmm.
That it doesn't, having a gas gauge that tells you that you're out of gas doesn't change the fact that you need to put gas in the tank.
You're out of
But
gas.
one of the big numbers that we've been looking at, because I think practice owners, compared to other industries, we pay out more revenue to our revenue generators, to clinicians, by 20-30% than physical therapists, chiropractors, lawyers, which is fine. That's maybe the way the industry is, but that doesn't leave a lot of fat on the bone for the person running the practice.
That's right.
So the number one KPI that we're trying to get people to pay attention to is what we're calling their admin cost per session, right? Which
Mm.
is you take your labor costs for the entire year for your billing, scheduling, records, whatever you have, but that
Mm.
admin team divided by the number of claims, and you get an admin cost per session, right? So the average practice is a healthy practice is spending sub $15 per session on admin. The best practices are spending under $10 per session on admin, billing, scheduling, clinical directorship, all that stuff. When you throw out, we're talking about what you said, $80 to $100 to rework a claim for one session.
It's a
Good
ton. I mean, it's
grief.
spread out. It's not
Yeah.
concentrated, but you're talking about 3 to 6 months of rework and
Yeah.
$25 to $118. I mean, for some people, that's the whole claim, you know?
Yeah. You would be better off to not do that session at all.
Yes.
Right? Because you still got to pay your clinician, or they're going without their pay, which causes angst. You're
Oh,
better off to
man.
not do that than spend that rework. Like, make your
That's
life
right.
easier.
That's
Ah,
right. And taking insurance can and should be an option for you, but not at
mhm.
that expense level,
No,
right? You should be able to scale that up in a way that's helpful, provides access to care. But if you're spending that much money, it doesn't make any sense.
it's not sustainable. What
No.
in the world do you do, right?
Yeah,
And
for sure.
yeah,
So we got to fix that. And I
yeah.
think we use this process in-house, and I want other practices to use this process in-house so they can realize some more, to
Mhm.
use your analogy, more fat on the bone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that makes it a practice, that as an owner, you don't end up resenting. It's really tough to run a business or pay people when your sense of resentment towards the whole thing is growing. I mean, that's a short leap from resentment to cruelty, right?
Mm.
That's when we become part of the problem, part of what
Yeah,
we
you've done
created.
this. You've done this a lot, Ken. You don't want
Yeah.
to build yourself a prison.
No,
Why would you do that? You
no.
know,
Yeah.
might as well go
We-
get a 9 to 5.
Yeah, or go. I mean, one of the biggest things I hear from smaller group practice owners, 5, 10, 15 clinicians is, I made more money in less time when I was working by myself.
There you go. There you go.
What are we doing, right?
No,
Well,
yeah.
I love it, Jeremy. I'm really excited to have you at the conference. If people want more Jeremy, either they don't make it to the conference or after the conference, how do they get more of this? What else do you offer to help them? You're not just a brilliant talking head. You guys actually do this.
Well, yeah,
For
we
practice.
actually do this. If you want free content, The Claim Game is a podcast you can get wherever you listen. The cheapest way to work with us is through our online learning hub, $50 a month. You can look up everybody's rates so you can negotiate. You can pull our process and tools out of our
Mhm.
learning platform and implement it in your practice. If you're at a size where you just want to outsource it, get it out of your office, we have done for you billing services. And
Mhm.
then if you're a much larger group and you need to either figure out how to train, build SOPs, implement those best practices, we have a white glove, high touch consulting team that can do that for you.
I love it.
So
I love it.
that's it.
Well, that's huge, and I know you made a difference for thousands of therapists, and that trickles back into the industry, right? Like healthy therapists, healthy practice means access for the public that's not disrupted by cash flow irregularities and things like that. So
Totally.
appreciate all
Totally.
you do and
Yeah.
how it trickles
Amazing.
out.
Well, thank you.
Well,
Yeah.
we're really excited to see you in a week or so. I think it's going to be some good stuff. I think you're going to have a lot of people show up to hear this in particular,
Mhm.
right? Denials is at the heart of cash flow pain. So thank you, Jeremy. We're excited to have you.
Yeah. Thanks, Ken.